Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of Pens Den. I'm your host, Bill. This is following the Pens 4-1 loss to the Washington Capitals in Game 2 of the second round of the Stanley Cup Finals. Three things doomed the Penguins today. The first thing was their first period. Their first period was atrocious. If you name what they did wrong, there's a laundry list of things. And it just got multiplied. It was just out of control. There was no forechecking, absolutely no defense. Murray being left out, hung out to dry. They were losing puck battles left and right. There was no energy. It just was not a good period all the way around. They showed no spark, no life. And then, I'll say it. Number two, and probably number three, the officiating this game. The number two thing was when Brian Dumoulin got hit by Tom Wilson. I don't know about you, but to me, that was a head hit. And I've saw other non-Penguins fans agreed that was a head hit. That's a suspendable type play. The NHL makes a big talk about, we're going to go after those that do the head hits. We're going to suspend them and fine them and, make sure that this doesn't happen again. Bull crap. If you're serious about an NHL and NHL player safety, you need to do something about it. Wilson needs suspended for that hit. Dumo probably has a concussion from this. He wasn't back for the rest of the game after that. That was just total garbage. I'm sorry. A player's health really upsets me. When a player gets hit like that, there's no excuse. There's garbage. And, the garbage that Washington was dishing out after that was ad nauseum the rest of the game. Niskanen with Gensel. Orpik several times today. Oshie. I mean, it was all over the place. Smith-Pelly with Hornquist. I mean, the garbage was going on. And then Kuznetsov was selling himself to the officials, not once, but twice, and got calls today. I'm sorry. That just, to me, when you sell, you have to sell yourself to an official. And, I'm sorry. That's just, I don't know how many ways of wrong can you say that is, okay? Seriously, that's just, I don't know about that. I just don't know about that. That's just beyond comprehension to me. I mean, when the officiating in this game from the start was bad, and now we just saw a complete collapse. The missed calls were just piling on and piling on and piling on. And, I got to give credit to Chris Letang. I think he kept a cool head about it on the Kuznetsov penalty. He didn't get called for anything additional. And then, okay, I'm going to say this. My dad used to have a saying. He said, that sometimes when bad things that you can't believe, he said, that's like day-old fish left on the counter overnight. And what I'm referring to is a no-goal call for the second goal that was taken away from the Penguins. Folks, I've been watching games since 1972. My first playoff series was in 1975 against the Islanders. And I saw the first time, the Penguins were up 3-0, and then they lost 4 in a row to the Islanders in 75. That's the first time something like that ever happened. So I witnessed history that day. But I'll tell you what, this no-goal call, even the misfits of misinformation at what they call NHL on NBC said it was a goal. Milbury, who, we all know the love affair he has with the Penguins, even he said it was a goal. You take that goal, you take that. How do you take a goal away? And according to Doc, he said that the NHL said that there wasn't irrefutable evidence to overturn the call. When NBC had it. You mean to tell me NBC's replay and review equipment is better than the NHL's? Like I said, this smells like day-old fish left on the counter overnight. Bad, really bad. NHL, you need to fix your officiating. Yeah, you do. Because when you have garbage like that, I can tell you what I saw on Twitter, it was just left and right and right and left. And I saw were non-Penguins fans. People said, I hate the Pens. And they were robbed on that call. Robbed. It was just flat out highway robbery today. No questions asked. And then the game got out of hand after that. The officials just let stuff go. And I think the look, I don't know if you saw it, and I put it out on my Penn Twitter account and recorded a little snip of Pierre had his iPad up and Crosby bent over to look at it and saw it was a goal. And I knew exactly what he said. I could lip read. And then I saw what Sullivan had to say about it as well. And, it was inevitable that the series was going to be going back to Pittsburgh one game apiece. But I'll tell you what, NHL and NHL officiating, let the players play the game, number one. And number two, a penalty during the regular season should be a penalty in the playoffs. You don't have different rules. Yeah, you don't have overtime in the shootout, but other than that, a rule's a rule. Follow your own rule book. And if you're right, if you think if you think I'm a little ticked off right now, I am. And what I'm hoping for come game 3 in Pittsburgh on Tuesday night, the Penguins channel all this energy and that they plaster Mr. Wilson's face all over the plexiglass at PPG Paints Arena. And for that matter, Mr. Orpik, remember when Crosby tripped Ovechkin in overtime with a no call in overtime and the Pens scored and won? When was that? I have no idea when that was. I'd have to see that. I'd absolutely have to see that. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about today's game. I think the thing that really says a lot was when you have other NHL fans who can't even stand the Penguins say that was a goal, that you were robbed. I don't know about that. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, the other thing is, and I know I talked about it earlier, is when a player gets hurt with a hit to the head, NHL needs to take action on that. And not taking action on that's just garbage. Garbage all the way around. I'm sorry. Wilson needed a penalty for that. Yes, it was, Julian. It was clearly a goal. Wilson needed a penalty and probably tossed from the game, and then a hearing before NHL player safety. And probably none of that's going to happen. What the Penguins need to do for game 3, you need to come up. Mike Smith is one of the best coaches that I've ever seen in the NHL. And I think what he's going to do is channel this energy, because I think the Penguins have a lot of it. And I think they were frustrated as hell after this game today. I would be too. And Mike Sullivan will be good and channel that energy into the game on Tuesday night. You will see them come out flying like gangbusters. They're going to be aggressive on the forecheck. They'll beat the Capitals to loose pucks. And I think they'll win. I think the crowd will be behind them. And I think they'll win. And I'm hoping that they take these two at home. It's going to be a long series. It's not going to end in 5. I can tell you that right now. No, obviously, it's not going to end in 5. It's going to be a chippy game in 2 days. It sure is. It sure is, Julian. It sure is. It's just there's going to be a lot going on, and players' heads are going to need to be on a swivel. I'm really hoping Malkin is back for game 3. They really need him. And the entries that they had on the power play, gosh, that was not good today. They didn't look too good on the power play. It was just, wow. You know, in the way, when you get one past Holtby, and I said that during the first game, you know, you can get the floodgates to open, and they almost did today. They came so close several times. There was one bounce, hit the post, went on the outside of the net today. I don't know if it was Sherry or somebody. And Gensel today too. Just another one of those things. I don't know. Well, like I said, Penguins need to come out like gangbusters in game 3. Hit everything that moves, and if it's still moving, hit it again, and just go for it. I think one of the things I noticed today too, Washington is picking on Murray's glove side. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, our goaltending coach needs to work with Murray. Murray had some fantastic saves in the first game, and he had some great saves today too. I think it is going to go 7, Julian. I really do. And, you know, this is one of those type of series, and yeah, I personally, I think that this is one of the, you know, one of those things that, you know, the NHL loves it going 7 games. Took my son to see his first Caps game for game 1. Game 7 will be experience. It is, you know, Julian, and I'll tell you what, you know, going to a game 7 is an insane experience. But I'll tell you what, I went to game 5 of the finals in 2016 where the Penguins could have clinched it at home, and they didn't. And it was just one of those unbelievable letdowns. I'll say that. And if your team wins, it's a great thing. It's a great feeling. But I'll tell you what, you walk away from that arena, they lose. It's just like you feel like your heart's been ripped out, put back in place, and it's upside down, and you're waiting for it to get itself straightened out. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. It's gonna be a very chippy game. The next game, I think the Pens will take the next 2. I think it will probably go to 7. I think, you know, and who knows what happens in a game 7. What I want to see is that the officials let them play the game. Yeah, it did, Julian. I'll tell you what, that game 5, 2016 finals that we went to, because I live out of town. I don't live in Pittsburgh. And we flew up there. Well, I went to 2 games. Went to game 1, and then I flew back for game 5. And, wow, that was just that was a tough pill to swallow. And I got to tell you this. They were scalping tickets unbelievable amounts. Like front row seats were being scalped for about 10 grand a piece that night. Yeah, it was just it was one of those things. Everybody was was hoping, and it didn't happen. And then they went and did it on the road in Game 6. So like they've won every cup on the road. Go figure. I don't know, but I think that's about it for today. I won't have time to be doing a pregame on Tuesday night. I'm hopeful that we get Malkin back for Tuesday. I think we need him. We needed one of the places you could see he's missing is on the power play. And and the other thing I'll say is Kessel just, I don't know if he's hurt or something. He's just not himself. I'm not seeing him play like he should. I think that's where things are for me for today, as far as the Penguins are concerned. I want to thank everybody who watched this live and also on the rebroadcast. Again, the next game is this Tuesday coming up against the Capitals. Game time 7:30, I believe, in Pittsburgh, and then game time on Thursday night is 7:00 from Pittsburgh. So, it's going to be a long series. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So, keep your hats on. And thank you guys all for watching tonight. And let's go Pens.